Aaronra, stupidest person. No. It says the Ten Commandments aren't real. After, I think it's Dennis Prager says the Ten Commandments are the most important document in human history. Which, again, kind of foolish since they're damn near dead center in the Torah, which was compiled by 4 people. So you'd have to say, well, depending on your point of view, the priestly documents or the EJ conjecture, or that it was written by Moses. I go with priestly documents that got combined with EJ with the Deuteronomist. But anyways, bearing all of that, the Ten Commandments do exist and are written down, and they do exist in the oldest catalog of stuff. I don't care if you think it's myth. The Bible is very, very old. And for certain reasons, Judaism, Christianity, kingdoms wanting to exist and validate themselves by the mandate of God, use that, atheists, they've come down to us and are part of our history. The Ten Commandments actually do play a huge part in our being. Western civilization wound up not being Western. It's universal now. It's pretty much been universal for the past 200-300 years. I mean, and that's a stretch saying that. I would say for the last 1,500 years. Does nobody think that Christianity and Islam got to Indonesia, Mongolia, China? I mean, it's only Western, so you'd have to just at least at the bare minimum since Columbus. But why did Columbus take that sea voyage? Wouldn't he have known he would die? We knew the circumference of the earth back then. People are so friggin' stupid. Anyway, barring all that, they're not mythical. Just like Beowulf isn't mythical. It's a book written down in Anglo-Saxon, famously translated by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's not a myth. It's actually it's a real myth. Yeah, but the Ten Commandments are commandments from a Moses, God, whoever you want to frame it as. They exist, and they've existed for thousands of years. End of story. If you doubt this, check the Septuagint, the Vulgate, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, I could just keep listing things off, but the Targum, the Ethiopic record, whatever. Odessa, the Armenians, 2 separate civilizations, and you have the early Georgians, which weren't called Georgians because they were still writing in Aramaic. But Aaronra, you must be the stupidest person on the earth. You act all sassy and uppity and arrogant. Yeah, they kind of were the basis, because it's one thing where monotheistic people who are concerned about heretics and witches could point to and say, okay, we can at least agree upon this. Right? And everybody nodded their head and said, right. Why do you think they got why do you think everyone focused on them? The Jews and the Christians and all the weird denominations of Christians and all the weird denominations of Jews before rabbinical Judaism and, the 2 forms or 4 forms of Catholicism that became popular and still stayed around. Focused on those. And even the damn Karaites focused on those. I mean, are you kidding me? Oh, they didn't exist. They're mythical. Somebody wrote them down. I would say the priestly source. And you saying Moses is historical is not skeptical of friggin' at all. What are you talking about? There's plenty to suggest, and more than enough, not even more than enough to suggest. Why would a guy with a half Egyptian name be leading the Israelites? That's weird. You don't know how history works. You seem to not know what fact and fiction are. In this video, I'm dealing with you on a strictly atheistic, materialistic world viewpoint. I'm not delving in. There's nothing spiritual about this video. I'm not interjecting a spiritual worldly view. Would we not have literacy if Christianity didn't become the dominant religion? We wouldn't have rampant literacy. What does that go back to? Hey, this guy named Jesus Christos, or Joshua son of Joseph, or Yeshua bar Yusuf, or Yeshua bar Yosef, he emphasized those. So even in pre-New Testament rabbinical tradition, they're very freaking important. So yeah, to the world, they're very, 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 very important. They exist. Who friggin' cares who wrote them for the purposes of your video? Because it doesn't matter. I'm not even going to say, by the way, this is what I think, because it just doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? Atheists, really, is this your fucking sticking point? Or is this something you want to get behind? Challenge me on it. Challenge a friggin' certified fucking goddamn historian on it who's been reading ancient documents from the Hasmonean period to the early Byzantine period for 15 years. Let's talk. Who wants to challenge me on this? Aaronra, you want to take me on?